to Grace Nicole Myths, Astrology, and Tarot for the full moon in Scorpio, Shedding the Old themed secret code name readings. This is secret code name Stitch, like Lilo and Stitch. I was definitely pinged to Stitch for this secret code name. All right, so if you've resonated to it in divine time, right? How these secret code names work for those of you who are unfamiliar with them. All right, secret code name readings are purchased by individuals via my Etsy shop. The link's in the description. All right, they're purchased via my Etsy shop. When someone buys one, I say, hey, I got you, and this is your secret code name, and it's their personal reading. Okay, so secret code name Stitch belongs to an individual. It's their personal reading. All right, the beauty of these themed events is, and the secret code names is, if you resonated to it in divine time, if it's crossed your path, right, and you were drawn to it, chances are there is a message in here for you. Okay, chances are there's a message in here for you. So, without further ado, we are going to get into this. Just please know, if you are new to me in the channel, I have no filter and I don't sugarcoat myself, like, at all. I just read how I read. So if that's not your thing, you've been fair warned. All right, you have been fair warned. So, secret code name Stitch, and those who would be drawn to it in divine time. Spirit, what are they shedding, or what needs to be shed? What is the old that needs to be shed? All right, I've got 2, 7, 7, 5, and technically the 2 and 5 add up to 7. So I've got like a 777 energy type thing going on here. But I think it's the ending and the beginning that need to come together. Clarities, please, Spirit. What does that mean? What does that mean? Oh, that's funny. A 5 clarified the 2. So, 7. What else? What else? Clarities, please. Okay. We got the Hermit on the bottom and Judgment on top. 2 major arcana. All right, that's milestone energy. I think you understand with the Judgment card on top that you have come into a higher version of yourself than previous versions. Okay, so there's an awareness of it. Everybody grows throughout their life, right? Everybody goes through cycles and goes through growths and changes and things like that. But I think you are very consciously aware of the stark difference, okay? That you were once maybe very human and like a lot of other people, and you've grown into a awareness of your own energy, okay, and what you can create with it. All right, I feel as if you have, because I'm just being super drawn, and I've never really been drawn to it before. There's this armband that she's rocking, and it's kind of, it's not a snake, but it reminded me of one as soon as I saw it. And it's almost like you've championed your own demons or your own snake, that you would wear it on your sleeve, like, and that's become your protection now. Like, what was once trying to poison you and do you in Whatever lesson you learned, whatever snake or demon you've overcome, it's now become your protection. Because I heard like people wear their heart on their sleeve, but yours is protected by that victory. Okay? And I feel like it's definitely empowering for you. There's a certain amount of energetic power that you got mastering or overcoming whatever that demon was. And I think the underlying thing right now is that you've been in a very alone type state, and maybe you aspire to come out of that alone state. But I think maybe spirit was just getting you comfortable with your nature, your true nature, right? Your nature without the threat of poison. I think spirit had you in a state of becoming very familiar with your new version, so that it is far removed from your old version, right? So that you could see that stark difference in yourself and not maybe get triggered or slip back into old you just because it wasn't that long ago. Right now you've been in new you for quite some time, and old you is very far away. Okay. Now we've got the sacral chakra clarified by the Five of Wands, which is a challenging times card. We've got the Seven of Wands clarified by the Sun, our shine card. Then I've got the crown chakra clarified by the Ace of Wands and the Strength card, which is control. And then I've got the Five of Cups clarified by the Six of Coins. Okay. Any type of number patterns with sevens are going to be synchronistic for you. Because I was talking about the multiple sevens in the beginning. And then we've got 7, 8, 7, and then 11. So 7, 8, 7, different things like that. And we've got multiple 9s now on the board. Okay. And multiple 2s. 7s, 2s, 9s might pop up in there. Okay, so any type of repetitive pattern or palindrome, things like that with 7s are going to be a reminder to you about this message, all right? Because I feel like you're in a mastery of self when it comes to your reality. I think that's the current challenge with this energy, is shedding the old reality for a new reality. So like, you're very aware of your growth, right? And you are in essentially a new reality from your old self. But now Spirit's kind of moving you through a shedding of your current reality, because your new reality compared to your old is now your old reality compared to the new coming in. I'm feeling as if like you have a far distant past, the person you've become in the new experience, and now there's a new you in the new experience. Okay, you might want to watch Lilo and Stitch, because Stitch kind of has that metamorphosis almost, like he comes from some faraway realm, and who he was there is very far removed and different from who he is now, and then this new energy is adjusting and situating in the reality, and yet the reality is shifting him, right, into an even better version of himself. and yet he doesn't really ever lose who he is. You know what I mean? It's like a refining. It's like a self-refining. And when you refine the self, you refine the experience. This is a fine-tuning. I think you're learning how to create what you want, the joy you want, the happiness you want, the fulfillment that you want, through what has been essentially very challenging. Okay. Or you keep getting met with obstacles. Like, you know what you want to create, and yet you feel like it's too hard to create what you want with either who you are or how life is. And I think really what the deal is that you are learning how to choose your battles like not just anybody will do. It's almost like someone has to recognize the monumental victories that you've had up against some seriously big energies. Whether those energies were getting over an extremely toxic and controlling individual, or whether those energies were, you know, getting over an addiction, or whether those energies were something that was seemingly all-consuming and huge, right? Because you've mastered that snake. You've mastered that snake. Like, I think you're shining in the fact that you have learned how to control the war within yourself that was manifesting as chaos or war in your outer experience, where you felt like you were at war with life or war with people or war with circumstance. Like, there was this constant battle. I think you've learned an immense amount of self. I think you've learned an immense amount of self. I think you've gone through a whole lot of healing. Okay. I think you've come a really far way. And I think that essentially what you are manifesting is someone who has been through an equal amount of big energy shifts, who can understand and respect the amount of spiritual effort that it took for you to come out on the other side of this and not get poisoned by the snake. Like, you didn't let the experiences kill you, kind of thing. You championed it instead. And I think what you're now moving into is this divinely guided control of self, where you're breathing in new life into something. It's almost like welcoming in the shift by calling in your own magic, right? By calling in your own magic and taking control of the manifestation, right? By seeing something that sparks your interest, no matter what that is or who it is, and saying that's the kind of huge energy, that's the kind of huge transformative shift that I can relate to. Because I feel like most people, because you've gone through such an intense and huge amount of shift, most people can't fucking relate to you. They can't relate to you. Their energy's not as deep as yours is. And so it's hard for them to meet you at deep levels because their energy it's shallow. They have no idea what it's like to go through that amount of healing. And so it's really hard for them to relate. It's really hard for them to relate to your energy. And I think that might be what you're letting go of, the idea that you could just simply relate to anyone. Like, you can't just simply relate to anyone. You can relate to people who are as deep as you, who are as protected as you, and that they've triumphed over a certain snake or certain demon that they were dealing with. It's almost like they can appreciate the journey that you've been through and you can appreciate the journey that they've been through because it morphed you into refined, beautiful versions of yourself that have a lot of depth, okay? And I think maybe you really need to shift your focus with this energy away from maybe what's in your immediate environment and instead like what's over the bridge kind of thing. Like wherever you are, wherever your focus is, that you've been looking maybe for love in all the wrong places, you know? Like, you know, it's almost like you've got to like see who's on your wavelength, who's giving energy or insight or time or caring about you, whether you realize it or not, because I feel like there's just gonna be some kind of magnetism. I feel like there's some kind of magnetism, okay, going on with this, and you've got to be able to trust that the energy exchange is there, that the depth is there. When you feel that, I don't know why, but I'm drawn to this thing, you know what I mean, or person or whatever it is, like you're drawn to it, like there's a reason why you are drawn to it. There's a reason why. And it's because it's trying to do its best to shift your focus away from your 2.0 version, which is great compared to your 1.0 version, but it's attempting to move you into your 3.0 version, right? It's an even more refined and smoother flowing, better version, you know what I mean? Like they're moving you into what is essentially your next level. And to be fair, I think it's a really fucking awesome one. With the sacral chakra card and the crown chakra card coming out, this is like divinely blessed and eternal gratitude for the amount of joy you feel. All right, so shedding the 2.0 version because you've got a whole new version ready to download into the manifestation, right? So I hope that helps. Let's pull some guidance for you before this video ends up getting way too fucking long. Let's see. Yeah, follow your joy, I'm telling you. To recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. This might be someone that you play with, whether you play sports or play games, like, because I'm getting the thing of play. Follow your joy. I think this is someone who, they might understand you without realizing just how much they understand you. And vice versa. You might understand them a lot more than they realize you understand. And I think it's because you share, this. I think you both have that. Follow your joy. Because whatever it is, whatever this playfulness is, I think if you initiate, I think if you shine and you initiate, very lightheartedly, but I think if you do that, I think you're gonna find some really awesome, like, magical ball rolling. Okay? Keep it light. But definitely let that be your focus. Because I feel like it's your clarity through the fog. And I think it's an equal energetic exchange. I think you're going to be more than grateful for whatever this ends up becoming. Your 3.0 version with whoever else's 3.0 version is on the fucking table. I think that is a recipe for long-term fucking blessings. Like I said, I think there are some serious, like, tears of eternal gratitude that come along from both of you for each other. I think there's huge potential here. All right. So drop a like if you haven't already. Leave a comment. Let me know if it is resonating with you or has resonated with you, especially if it wasn't your secret code name. Right? Let me know in the comments. And thank you for tuning in and supporting me in the channel. My love and support is with you always, and I will see you next time. See ya.